What is your
Hey, good evening, you guys. Welcome back to another edition of Mind Your Business podcast. This is a special edition, and the reason why I say it's a special edition, we normally do things on Mondays, but because this guy's so busy, his schedule's just so crazy and hectic. You know, he's touring all over the place, even during the pandemic. He's masked up on all of the planes and everything. So we had to try to work this thing out to get him here while he's here, because if not, man, he'll be Dubai somewhere, recording. So we got my man Chris House, man. What's going on, brother?
Man, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, listen. You
I
made
made
it.
I
Listen.
made
You made it.
it.
And look, I appreciate you for doing it, for your schedule. We were able to fit this thing in. I know you probably catching the red eye. You know what I mean? You got somewhere to be.
Yeah,
Hold on.
It's the weekend,
Hold on. What's that shirt you got on, bro?
I mean, I figured since I was coming here, I figured I'd bring some sanity to the show. I am from Phoenix. I'm not from Hampton. I am from Phoenix.
Hey, man, we not gonna get into that. We're not even gonna argue.
I just wanted to set the record straight, let it be
If we
clear.
not, all right, he got on his Phoebus Phantom shirt. Look, man, I wanted to get you on. We've been knowing each other for a while, and things have, you've done a lot here in the area, and things have really progressed for you a lot. I've seen some of the stuff you've been doing. We kind of keep up here and there, but I wanted to get you on one to kind of talk about some of the things that you have going on, with your music and things of that nature, and then also, your husband, your dad. You know what I mean? You're in your church. It's a multicultural church, but you're probably the next thing to one of the Black Panthers that's in the church, man. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to touch on that as well, and just how it's received, and things of that nature. So the purpose of the podcast, this Mind Your Business podcast, is to, one, we want to have an opportunity to sit down with our entrepreneurs, talk to them, and find out exactly how the process looks and how it works. Because I think for so many of us on the outside looking in, things look good and look great, but there's a process to it, man. There's a road that a lot of times future entrepreneurs don't hear about and they don't know about. And so we want to give them an opportunity to hear from some people that are doing it, and just some of the avenues and the highs and lows that they've experienced with their whole entrepreneurship, and just what that looks like, man. So who else better than Chris House? You know what I mean?
No. A lot.
Who?
A lot better people. You gotta have my wife up here. She the
listen, I know, because I seen the little baby joints that she just did, right?
Man, she got so much stuff. Books,
listen.
Children's books, devotionals, onesies, women and mom stuff.
But do this, man. I'm gonna have my people talk to your people.
All right.
And then we can figure it out to get her on the show.
Yeah, man.
We'll figure that piece out. Yeah, we'll definitely get her on. Yeah. So look, man, real quick, I got my list of questions here, and I'm gonna jump off real simple, real easy. All right. Who exactly is Chris House, man?
Man, Chris House is a son, a husband, a father. I am a musician, singer, songwriter, all of that. Those are things that I do. I guess what I am I think I live my life as a peacemaker, not necessarily peacekeeper, but a peacemaker. So it seems like in everything that I do, it always ends up coming back to that, or it has that at the heart of it, at the center of it. So that's really who I am. And those are other things I just, I mean, something I do, but not necessarily who I am. I think I'm a peacemaker. Uh, yeah, man.
So you don't want no trouble. You ain't trying to fight. You ain't trying to do none of that. What you saying?
Nah, man. I just make you my. You know, everybody has their different like lanes and different assignments.
Hmm.
I think I am. Well, I know I am the one that just makes you aware,
Got it.
and what you do with the awareness is on you.
Hmm.
I don't force you to bend to the left or the right. I just make you aware,
Got it.
and then I move off of it and I go.
So let me ask you this.
Yep.
So how has the response been from those that you have made aware? So whether it's in your okay, so the church that you go to is a multicultural church.
Yeah.
I guess we will, I guess that's a correct term.
Yeah.
It's a multicultural church,
Yeah. Yeah.
and with that, how has the response been with you making your stance, your awareness? You get up there in the pulpit singing praise and worship records with every black pen that you could think of on your jacket and on your
Right. Right.
shirt.
Right.
You up there with the fist on, strumming a guitar. How's
Right.
that going?
Man, it's going. It has its highs. It has, I don't even want to say it has its lows, but it
Mm,
does challenge people. But actually it's been more positively effective than negative than what
mm,
people would think. Now my situation is different. I got a lot of my worship leader friends whose situation is totally different.
got it.
They'd be silenced, certain stuff they can't say, they can't post, they can't talk about, and they end up, leaving their churches or whatever. My situation is a little different. Um, with my situation, I've been here 7 years. When I first came, my pastor's white, and he'll tell you there's been a total change even within him because of our relationship. It wasn't all peaches and cream, as we say, in
Mm,
the very beginning when it comes to this side of it. I mean, what
got
I
it.
do
Got it.
music wise, it's always been fine. But once, they found out, oh, he does more than just sing and write songs. Oh, he
Mm,
talks about this stuff. So we've had the challenging conversations. And it's caused a shift in our church as well. With the 2016 election, of course, and then with this recent election. But starting around 2015, 2016, things started shaking a little bit.
mm,
And it's I mean, you're gonna have some resistance. You're gonna have
got it.
some people in the church that say you're talking too much about it. Then you have
Right.
some others in the church that say you're not talking enough about it.
Mm,
So, you catch it on both ends. But there have been changes that I've seen that have been really life changing changes. And I'm not talking about just making the post and saying the right
mm,
things, but
mm,
doing that and also doing the behind the scenes work, challenging people at the dinner table,
got it.
challenging family members, and even losing some people from the church
Mm, right.
who
Right.
have
Right.
said, nah, we don't want to be about this. So some costs are being paid. I mean, it's not all great, right? Even now, but
Mm,
there's a there are more for than they are against, believe it or
got
not.
it.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
All right. And that's good. To be able to go to a church, to be able to have a pastor that's there that will, as you stated before, you got friends who have been quote unquote silenced or whatever, but
Mhm.
to have a pastor that supports what you're doing, understands it,
Yeah.
and is willing to embrace it, because I guess, ultimately, it's going to be hard to do, man, with the type of church that you're in.
Mhm.
And I'm sure there's, you've got black, whites, brown, whatever.
Yeah.
And to be able to allow that to take place, man, you gotta kind of give him a little credit for that too, man. So
Yeah.
uh and you're still gainfully employed.
I am.
You know
I
what I'm
am.
saying? They ain't put you out. So that's saying a lot right there, man.
Nah, I am. Yeah.
Um, Let me ask you this, man.
Yep.
Out of everything that you've done, we're going to get into that. But out of everything you've done, what would you consider as your greatest accomplishment?
My
Make sure
greatest
you say
accomplishment.
make sure you say the right answer. I don't listen. I don't want to all of a sudden see a hand just come to the screen and
Of
just
course,
hit you
of
to jump.
course. Of course. Honestly, really, for real. This is real talk. The greatest accomplishment is being a black man uh, who is a husband and a father of two black girls.
Mm,
And my girls are 5 and 3.
mm,
So I mean, I'm just getting into it. But I honestly think that's one of the greatest accomplishments for a lot of reasons. One, I was the only child, so
mm,
I didn't know what it's like being a brother or a sister to
mm.
somebody blood related.
Got it.
Um, I got married as what people would consider late. You know, I got married. I've been married 30. I mean, I've been married 7 years. 7 years, but I got married in my late 30s or mid
Mm,
30s.
mm.
So I started late, but just from who I am and what I am, I'm not statistically I'm not supposed to be able to do that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So to be able to be a father and a husband and a good one, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's that's a great accomplishment. All the other stuff is gonna come and go, but at the end of the day, man, them little girls don't care nothing about how many planes I get on, how many songs I
Right.
write.
Right.
All they want to do is, "Daddy, come dance with me."
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. And look, man,
that's
that
all.
was that was the right answer, man. Because I was. You see, I was like this, man. I was like,
Nah,
make
oh
sure.
no, oh no, oh no. I know what the deal is.
Oh man, but that's good, man. That's big, man, because I mean, this day and time what it's like
Yeah,
with men and the children and the lack thereof and things of that nature, man. So yeah, hey man, that's it. So let's get into this, man. And I said this before, um, your camera's just on you right now. It's not panning. Um, I'm gonna throw some names. I'm just gonna throw some names out there. And when I
here we
throw these names out, I want you to, we're going to play the name game. And so you tell me with these names I throw out, just, what the relationship is. We'll put it that way.
I know you've done your research.
Huh? Just hold on, man. Hold on.
Oh God, I'm scared.
I'm just going to throw this one out right quick. We'll just
Okay.
say Tasha Cobbs.
She is she's actually my cousin now. So I married her cousin. So we're actually family now, but even before then,
Mm.
that's one of my best friends. Real talk in real life, one of my best friends.
So Tasha Cobbs is one of your best friends.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
now,
know
was she,
what most people don't know is I played drums on her very first album, the first independent one, not the one that had Break Every Chain on it, the one before that,
okay.
before she got signed. So I played on that record, the very very first one, and I knew her before she was Tasha Cobb's everybody.
Got it.
Like
Okay.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
my friend for real,
Okay.
for real.
And so you've written for her,
Yeah,
correct? You wrote some records, played for her. I think, and then she had some conferences and stuff, I think that you were kind of a
yeah,
part of as well.
hmm yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. Her Ali conference.
Okay. All right. All right. So let me give you a backstory on this one.
Okay.
So it's been some years back. I had PJ Morton. So
Okay.
PJ, he
Yeah,
comes
familiar.
in.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Oh, hold on. Let me
Okay.
get the backstory.
Oh, man, we kinda close.
So we got PJ coming in, you know what I mean, and we getting all of the stuff together, and so then he gives me his will call, and will call his guest list, his VIPs. So I'm looking, uh,
No.
Chris House.
Not
Is that the
not
same Chris House? So all of a sudden, here come Chris. I'm like, what up? I'm thinking he come to speak to me. He heading backstage to go talk to PJ, man. I'm
no.
like,
Nah, man. I had to get on PJ's guest list because your joint was sold out. I couldn't get in.
hold
So
on,
I
bro.
had to
That's
do what I
because
needed to do. So
that's only because, well, one, because you didn't call me. That's one. I'd have had you. But you and PJ, what's that relationship, man? Let's
well,
talk about
okay,
that.
so with PJ, his dad, Bishop Morton, started Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship. What was that, 93, 94? And
Mm,
my dad was a pastor. My dad was actually a bishop in the fellowship. So my home church, my mom and dad's church, actually was started with when Full Gospel started. We were a
Mhm.
part of the fellowship then. So I was what 12, 13. So me and PJ, we were around the same age. But of course, PJ was, a phenomenal musician when we were
Mhm.
12 and 13. Um, and so he was just, playing. So,
Mhm.
at the time I was just a drummer. So all of us were just musicians. We see each other at the conference every summer and, just hang out, just
Mhm.
play and do all the stuff that you do. And then just over the years, like matter of fact, when I first met PJ, nobody even really knew he sang. We didn't even know
Mhm.
he sang. We just knew he played. And then he started singing. And we were like, dude, what are you doing singing?
Mhm. Mhm.
And then of course everybody thought he was going, his dad is Bishop Morton. He gonna be taking gospel records. He started talking about love. And
Mhm.
it's like, oh, so you're not gonna do. He's
Mhm.
like, oh, that ain't how God gave it to me. And literally, PJ has been in the game for how many years? And
Oh
he's
yeah,
singing about love, and
crazy.
it's killing. And he's
Yeah.
that record, Stick to My Guns. He really
Oh
did.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
the fact that
yeah,
he's reaping the benefits. I mean, he's winning Grammys. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Hey, listen.
like he's doing it. Like,
Let me.
so it's like, dog. Yeah, man.
So so let me tell you. Let me tell you about that. So I'm happy and I appreciate the fact that he's winning Grammys. Sure,
Yeah.
I am. I really am. But let me tell you the part that I'm hating about.
What's that?
As a promoter, that means the price then went up.
Oh, you know it.
Listen, I can't afford them no more, man.
Oh, you know it.
But hey, listen, before I call on I hit his manager. Hey, can we get? Oh yeah, we working it out, man.
You
Listen,
remember when he used to come to Fuzzy Wednesdays?
yeah, listen, yes.
He used to come to like just on a whim, like, yo,
On
I'm in town.
show
I'm
up,
like, okay. And
yeah,
it's
just
like,
show up. Hey, listen, man, them days
crazy,
is over,
man.
bro. Them
Oh,
days
oh,
is over.
oh, way over.
So yeah, so I'm a little salty about that, but anyway, let's go here. Oh yeah, I got one for you.
Uh-oh.
Uh, oh man, okay, let's Vaughn.
Brother. Real, I'm talking about brother. Like,
Mm,
brother, brother.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
And he's doing it too, man. And
Vaughn has been killing for years. Vaughn's demos sound like
oh
people mastered the craft.
yes,
I'm talking
yeah.
about his demo that he does everything by himself. Every
Hmm.
instrument,
Hmm.
lead, background, mix,
Hmm.
everything sounds
Yeah.
like his little dummy mixes sound like people
Oh,
mastered records.
they blow
Like,
other people's stuff out the water. Yeah.
he's a
Yep.
genius. I mean, he's
Yeah.
literally songwriting. Vaughn is a genius, yo. Like,
Hmm.
that's probably the word I should have said first. Genius.
Oh,
Because he
genius.
is.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
dude, he is a genius, man.
I
Straight up.
will. I will say. Yeah. I will say.
Straight up.
He's definitely a monster. Here's one. Let's
Yeah.
say we'll just throw this one out here. Another name everybody know. J.J. Hairston. What about that? How about that one?
JJ, he is a I don't game changer is a real soft word, but I'll say that, and I guess I'll just as I talk, maybe it'll come to. But game changer is
Mm.
JJ. JJ changed the like how Israel Houghton changed the sound of Sunday morning.
Hmm.
JJ changed the sound, and people still don't give JJ the credit that he deserves. JJ made it. He took the choir, the huge choir sound, and made it uh and he mixed that praise and worship sound with a choir and made it
Hmm.
easy, made it, I don't want to say palatable, but he joined those two worlds together within the black church.
Hmm.
So he made it cool for choirs to be able to sing praise and worship music. And he's been doing that for years. So everybody, he kind of got on the map. Everybody, he got his world acclaim with You Deserve It. But that was
Hmm.
like nothing compared to the what stuff he's been doing and the stuff that he's currently doing now. But he is a game changer. And JJ is um he's very hands-on with the music business side of things, with
Hmm.
writers knowing their stuff and having a voice, especially gospel community,
Hmm.
gospel singers and musicians and artists having a voice at the decision-making tables of those big
Got it.
societies.
Okay.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
he's very big into that. He's like, I'm not just gonna be the person that gives you all the money. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm not gonna be the dog and pony show. Like I'm
Hmm.
gonna be the artist, but I'm also gonna be able to get the royalties and do all the
Got it.
business
Yeah.
side stuff too. And I'm gonna bring on other people too that have
Got it.
that
Yeah.
skill to do that. He's a very humble guy, and it's not about JJ. It's always about, okay, once I get my foot in the door, who else can I bring with me?
Hmm.
Yeah. So
So, and for those of you that are just tuning in, we got my man Chris House on. It's the Mind Your Business podcast, powered by Hanging with the Harrisons and the Harrison brand. We're gonna do one more name,
all right.
and then we're gonna move on to something else. And so
Cool.
this is a big one. This is a big one right now.
All right.
Maverick. I'm just gonna say Maverick City Music.
Maverick City Music, man. Maverick is another I'll call Maverick City uh a disruptor. I think that's what I can say it. A
Hmm.
disruptor, a game changer, a genre changer disruptor. You Maverick orig- originally Maverick, it still is, but we were just a bunch of songwriters that came together from different different denominations, different colors, basically coming together to just write songs, just songwriters. And from that, the songs, it turned into something larger where now the songs are being put on display for the world to see and to acknowledge. But it basically gave people of color, black people who who could identify with both worlds. When I say both worlds, the gospel world and CCM, Christian contemporary music, who delved who could do well in both of those worlds, and gave them a platform for the world to see it. Because up until that point, for the most part, you either had to be gospel or you had to be CCM.
Hmm. Right.
Gospel meant black, CCM meant
Yes.
white. Like that's what it
Right.
was. Like, there was no, and even at the different award shows, at like
Hmm.
the Dove Award shows, you have the gospel section of the Dove Awards. I mean, we
Hmm.
got that's the Stellars. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, but now you got Maverick City in the same category as the Chris Tomlin and the
Got it.
Mandis. You know what I'm saying? So they changed the game and um, they made it like, hey, no, you got to open the door for more than just the people who normally have done this to have a chance to be seen and to be heard. So,
So my question is this though, and just kind of
yep.
jumping on that. I understand that whole CCM gospel music,
Mhm.
that whole nonsense. I get
Yep.
it.
Mhm.
But my question is, so now is Maverick City Music, is it being accepted and played on some of those major stations? Are they spinning that stuff on, and are they spinning it on K-Love?
I don't know about Caleb, but I do know that they are spinning it on some of the stations. But of course
Hmm.
they have to do radio versions of it because
Right.
of course no radio plays live records. So
Yeah.
you know they
Yeah.
do radios. But I mean the thing is, everybody can say what they want to say about Maverick, but you can't deny the impact that
Hmm.
they're having. I mean, they on Billboard, they
Right.
running the list of nominations for the Doves, for the
Hmm.
Stellars. They in almost every category. So I mean, you can say what you want about it, but you can't deny the impact that it's having, and
Mm,
and
got it. Yeah.
the way that they are, the way that worlds are coming together because of it. I mean, you
Hmm.
have Maverick City doing stuff with doing a whole album with Elevation Worship.
Right.
That
Right.
never has happened before. Elevation is
Hmm.
an entity of its own. Like Elevation, quote
Hmm.
unquote, doesn't need nobody else. But to do a record with Mav, now you introduce both of
Hmm.
those groups to a world, to people who wouldn't have had access or known anything about him. So
Right.
it's
Right.
having impact. My prayer, my hope is that it is long lasting and it
Hmm.
doesn't fizzle out. It doesn't just not
Right.
a 2 or
Yeah.
3 4 year fad and then it goes away. I hope
Hmm.
it changes the game and makes
Got
it
it.
like, oh, it's different now.
So, all right. So let's talk the business side, but let's talk the process.
Mhm.
So when it comes to writing, because
Yep.
you've written on a lot of big records.
Yeah.
How does that process go? How does placements work? And how does that? So Do you get a call because you have relationships with these cats? You get the phone call, hey, look, man, Chris, we want you to write a record. We want you on this song with us or whatever. You get the call, y'all get together, y'all write. Is it a thing to where management calls man? Because there's a lot of people out here that are writers that want to write gospel records, that want to write gospel music, that want to get placements. They want their stuff heard. And because you've done it, you're doing it. Everybody across the world is calling you to come across the country, even during the pandemic with masks on. They still want you there. So with all of that, man, like, how does that work and what is the process? Is it based on relationship? How does it work?
For me, the first, everybody's process is different. It's different for different people. But for me, all of mine have come through relationship.
Mm,
Again, being a part of Full Gospel is really a big part of it, because you got to remember, you got to think about Full Gospel. When it was started, Byron Cage was the worship leader. So you got people like Byron Cage, even like the very first Full Gospel album, you had Kirk Franklin was on it, Daryl Coley,
mm, mm.
Marvin Winans. It was a big thing. So being a part of Full Gospel, you just form relationships just from being around. And
Right,
it's
right.
literally like the music community is really small. It's really small. It's not as huge as people think. It's about a relationship. Really, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
it's really about a relationship. I mean, I have it's a record that 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 me and Vaughn did, and we literally wrote 4 songs on the record the week of the recording in the hotel room. Like like Vaughn was like Vaughn is producing the record. He's like, yo, I need to get these songs done. Yo, I'm coming down to your room. We need to do these songs. And we wrote
Mm-hmm.
the songs, and they were great songs that have charted and that folks sing even now. So it's like it's just it's a lot with relationship. Now I know some
Okay.
people. There are other people who get signed as writers, who get publishing deals, and they get signed to a record label or a publishing company to be a writer for the publishing company. And even
Mm-hmm.
that is really based around relationship as well. I mean, you'll
Mm-hmm.
have management that helps out with that, and but it's about relationship for real, for
Okay.
real.
All right.
It's
And
about
so the majority of your placements or songs that you've written have been based on the relationships that you've had, throughout the years and just throughout individuals, or, you may know a person that knows a person that knows a person, or
Mhm.
that whole situation.
Yeah, and two, especially in the gospel world, it's like when you have some success with it, and I don't even think I've had success like that in it. But when you've gotten a few placements and people know you, people will say, "Hey, I'm doing a record. Send me some songs." Um,
Hmm.
that's kind of how it worked with Vashawn. The stuff I did with Vashawn being again part of Full Gospel, so he was a
Hmm.
part of those Full Gospel records. So when he was doing his stuff, I had looked up to and still do look up to Vashawn as a songwriter. So I would, matter of fact, one of the first songs I got on Vashawn's record, I just sent it to him because I wanted him to tell me what he thought of the song. Like, yo, do you think
Hmm.
it sound good? And he was like, yo, who is this for? And I was like, I just wrote it. I mean, we sing it at my church. He was like, yo, I'm doing a recording and I want to do this song. I was like, yeah, right. And he was like, no, I'm dead serious. And I from that was the first album I wrote on 2 more albums after that for Vashawn. So it's just relationship. And after you get after people see that you can kind of do what you do, then they'll be
Right.
like, hey, they'll call you again to do it. But yeah, it's all relationship, man.
And so for you, so we'll just say this: out of all of the people that you've written for, all the songs you've written, what's the one that sticks out the most?
Um, the one I'm a s- the one that sticks out the most to me is the first one.
Mm,
Is a song called "In Pursuit of Your Glory," off of Full Gospel album, the Cry Your Last Tear album. That was 2008. That was my first placement. That was my very first one, and I got that through my brother and friend Trent Phillips, who is amazing producer, amazing musician. He plays for Donnie McClurkin, Donald Lawrence, everybody. But again, he knew me growing up in the fellowship, and it
Mm.
was like, hey, we're looking for songs, and I sent the song. Here's the funny part: Tasha actually did the demo for the song. Tasha Cobbs, she did the demo for the song,
Mm-hmm.
and she ended up singing on that album. She ended up doing a song called "Chasing After You," but
Mm-hmm.
she actually did the demo for that song "In Pursuit of Your Glory." And I remember she was here in Virginia with Bishop Murphy, and we recorded that. I remember like it happened yesterday. We recorded that in a hotel in Norfolk, probably like two,
Mm-hmm.
3 in the morning. And she recorded the demo, and so that song got placed on there. So that's the most special one because it was the first one. It was the
Mm-hmm.
first song. I don't know if there are any people up here like writing songs or songwriters, but when you hear something that you just when you hear something that you did in your church or in your room, you just put it together and you had this dream about it, and then you hear it like on the radio, or you
Mm-hmm.
actually sitting there and watching somebody sing your song, it's like, yo, like
Right, right, right.
it's crazy. Yeah, me and my brother Michael Jordan wrote that together. Me and Mike went to Hampton together. Yep. So me and him wrote that together. So just
And
seeing that, so I think that's the most, the most special one because it was the first.
what is your process for writing? Do you?
It's
I mean,
different
how
every
does
time. It's
every
different.
time is different?
Yes, dude, and it's crazy because people ask me that all the time. It's different. I can't even pinpoint. Like sometimes, um, a good friend of mine, another amazing writer, Jonathan Nelson, he said I get most of my songs I just sit in church and listen to the preacher. I just listen to Sunday school. And I started doing that a few years back when I first started writing, just listening to church. So when you listen in the church, in sermons, preachers say some phrases that are kind of like not catchphrases, but it's stuff
Mm-hmm.
like, "Ooh, that line stands out," and you write something down. It's just a line that sparks a moment, sparks
Mm-hmm.
an idea. So sometimes it's from that. Sometimes it comes from um like I do a lot. I flow a lot when I sing, so I'll sing a song about something, and then just in the singing it, continuing to sing it, a spontaneous moment will come, and I'll start making up songs on the spot. And sometimes those songs stick, and you hopefully somebody records it or you can remember it, and then you go back and revisit it later and turn it into a full song. I've done that on some songs that are on my album. I've done that with some songs. Sometimes you get melody first,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just hearing a tune, then you put words to it. Or sometimes you have a subject matter that you really want to talk about, and you know, sit down and hash it out that way. Sometimes songs come real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes songs take months or years to finally put together. So it's
Yeah.
different every time. It's not. I don't have a formula at all, and I wish I did because if I did, I'd sell it.
I'm about to say, yeah. Let's figure that piece out. Let me ask you this: how many songs were written in the bathroom?
A lot of mine. If not the, I won't say the majority, but a
Mm,
lot,
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot. It's something about it's something about it, yeah. It I mean, it comes real quick. It's like,
yeah.
that's it. That's it. Da-da-da-da." And then it just works. Yeah, yo, that's real true. That's true.
Yeah,
Bathroom
yeah,
in the
and
car. The bathroom in the
yeah,
car. I'm telling you.
that's man. So now, can you? And I know for you're a musician as well. Um, can you read as well and play, or do you just play
Yeah.
by ear? Oh,
No, both. I started playing by ear. Growing up in church, you just play by ear.
mhm,
But I took piano lessons when I was like 5 or 6 and hated it and stopped. But I ended up playing trumpet in middle school, and of course, I was in percussion ensemble. And
mhm,
my percussion ensemble in middle school was amazing. I mean, we would do festivals playing with high school and college, you know, ensembles and be blowing them out the water. So I learned how to read music then. So and of course I was a music major at HU. So came out of Hampton 2002 with a music ed degree. So I had no choice but had to read. I'm playing
right. And
chord
and I
master
was
stuff and all of that. So
Yeah, and I was going to ask you when you say HU. I mean, I know HU, but I
no,
didn't know if somebody was thinking maybe Howard.
it's the only what there is no other HU. There's only one,
There's only one.
and it's
Okay,
Hampton.
look. Now, I was just asking, bro. Hey,
Just so it's clear.
I don't want no trouble, man. I don't want no trouble. Um, let's talk. Let's talk country music, man.
Yeah, yeah.
What is it about country music that you love so much?
Dude. The storytelling.
Mm,
The story, the art of songwriting, and the way that country music artists can talk about a light in the ceiling and will make a whole song about it. And you're thinking they talking about something else. And at the end of the song, it's like, this Joker is talking about a light. Or even if they talking about a light and you know they're talking about a light, it's just the beauty of the art of songwriting. A lot of I get a lot of inspiration from country music,
mm,
songwriting, the metaphors and the alliteration. It's just a lot. It's that. And then I mean, if you got a real good country singer who, you know, singing harmonies, which is nothing but church harmonies. That's all it is.
mhm.
But that drew me to the guitar as well. So with country music, it's the writing and it's that guitar that kind of it's just like, phew, I love it. I can listen to it
And
all.
because and so, how many people even know that originally you are a drummer? And you kind of said this about PJ,
Mhm.
that for a long time people didn't know that he could sing.
Yep.
Well, you were in the same boat, correct?
Yeah. And it's now. Well, here's a funny thing. There are people who, when I started, well, when I was singing, when I am singing, but people who met me rather
Hmm.
leading worship and singing and playing, and they thought that's what I did. And then when
Right.
they found out I played drums on Tasha's album or did full gospel stuff, or that I played drums, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't know you played drums." I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh no, no, no! I play drums and I do all this other stuff also. Like, no, I'm a drummer.
You're
Like,
a
I
drummer, Bob.
I had cymbal endorsements, drumstick. No, I played like I was a drummer. Like I
Hmm.
played drums. Like
Hmm.
I play drums. So a lot of people, even now, who they'll see me play drums, like I didn't know you played drums too. Like, no, man, all this other stuff is secondary. Trust me.
And how often do you get to play?
Not much. Not much. I mean, maybe twice a year.
Mm.
Or if I'm writing songs and I gotta do a demo and I can't, get one of my boys that plays drums really, really good to do it, I'll go back there and, record it and I'll be straight. But
Mhm,
yeah, I'm
mhm.
I'm so out of touch with the drum world right now. It's a
That's
shame.
okay. And
It's
you may be out of touch with that drum world, but you best believe you're making it up in the others.
a shame. I'm trying.
Know that you're making it up, man.
I appreciate it, man.
So for once again, those that are just tuning in, you're just catching the stream or whatever, wherever you may be. We've got Chris House on. It's the Mind Your Business podcast, powered by Hanging with the Harrisons and the Harrison brand. Um, Chris House he's from the Virginia area. He's got on his Phoebus Phantoms shirt. He letting everybody know,
Just so you know.
product of Phoebus High School, whatever. He went to Hampton University. But on top of that, he has written records probably for some of your favorite gospel artists. He's a writer, he's a father, he's a husband. He is also, I don't even know if this is a word, a racial reconciliator. I don't know. It sounds good. You know what I
Right.
mean? We'll ride with it. Um, and he's doing all of these things. And like I said, he's successful at it. The point of the whole purpose of Mind Your Business podcast is to give future entrepreneurs an opportunity to hear some of the stories, see how things work, find out. Everybody wants to be their own boss. Everybody wants to, they say they want this, they want that, but then they need to kind of know what it takes. So we're going highs and lows.
Mhm.
Give me your highest high when it came to you being kind of an entrepreneur, kind of doing it for yourself. And then also give me your lowest low.
All right. Really, the highest high really is being able to create your own schedule and
Mm,
be free to dream and free to create without having to. Because what people don't know is I taught special ed for 8 years
Mm,
before I got hired here full time 7 years ago. So I would
mm.
literally be at school from 7:30 to 3:09 every day, and then in the studio rehearsal till
Wait. Hold on. You said from 7:30 to 3:09.
oh 3:09.
You remember that schedule, don't
Oh, I definitely do. 3:09. I was walking. I don't care if it's burning down.
you?
I don't care what's happening. 3:09. I see y'all
3:09.
tomorrow.
Oh man. Oh man. 3:09. Okay, so we on your highest high. Back to your
Yeah,
highest high. My bad.
so that really is the highest high. Um,
Okay.
just being able to create your own schedule and be free to dream and not have to juggle it, you know.
Hmm.
But at the same time, that also can be a part of the lowest low because when you aren't as productive as you want to be, you feel like you're missing the mark and you're failing. So
Mm,
having to motivate yourself to continue to create and continue to evolve and to not put so much pressure on yourself to perform, but to just be and just
mm,
let it come as it comes. And that's it. I'm
mm.
not saying you don't work hard, you don't do the things necessary,
Right.
but you don't beat yourself up when you the one which leads me to a part of the lowest low part is when you're doing this creative stuff. I think all creatives in some way, shape, or form deal with that spirit of comparison. You compare
Mm.
yourself
Yeah.
to other
Right.
people who are doing what you do, to all
Yes.
of the other friends who are doing it, who have surpassed you and are
Hmm.
doing better than you. You start comparing yourself, and comparison is one of the greatest tools that you can use to self sabotage. You know,
Hmm.
that will kill your creative dream easily.
How
Comparing
long, man?
yourself.
Okay, hold on. I need you. You got to say that again, man. Matter of fact, because I need to write. Say that again so I can write that down, man. Go say that one more. It was good, man. Say it again.
I hope I can remember what I said. I was just saying comparison is one of the quickest ways to self sabotage. Your dream is one of the quickest ways. Comparison, it'll kill it. It'll do it. I mean, and even with your even amongst yourself, not even comparing yourself with others, but comparing yourself with the last one that worked. Especially with
Mm,
songwriters, yo.
right.
When you write one that worked and people calling you and they say stuff like, I want another such and such, you'd be like, oh, no, you can't,
That's yeah.
because now you making me compare with
Right.
this song. So now I'm just making a copycat song of this one
Mm,
because you wanted to sound like that. So you got to kill that. You
mm,
got to kill that quick, because if not, that'll be the fuel that motivates you. And whenever you're motivated by something negatively, it can only end negatively. You know what I'm saying? In the long run, it's going to end
mhm,
in destruction. You may have some success for it for a little bit, but leaving a legacy and making an
mm,
impact, longevity, is not going to work like that. So
mm,
that's part of the lowest lows to me. I think is just
mm.
is having that free time, but using it productively and not
Right.
allowing
Right.
it to for you to compare yourself to other people.
Short term goals. Next, we'll just say next between 2 to 5 years. Where do you want to be? And then part two of that is ultimately who do you really want to write for? Who's that one person you want to write a record for?
Uh, 2 to 5 years. I want to be now just in life or musically or both.
All the way across the board. Well,
Just all
both.
across the
Give me
board.
both.
Um, I want to be. I want to see more results with racial justice and racial reconciliation. More so racial justice, I think, um, within the world, but especially within the church.
Mm,
That's just and I want to be able to use to answer your question. I want to be able to use what I do in a greater way to aid in that. I want to be able to. create resource and platform and just avenues for creatives who have a heart for justice, but who also love God and love the church, to be able to bring both of those worlds together and to see some fruit from it and
Mm,
not be looked at, excuse me, as the troublemaker or looked at as the weird creative person. I really want to see that being used in a more positive way, creating some long lasting change.
mm,
Uh, who do I want to write for? Honestly, don't have anybody like that I really like want to like write for. Like I
mm.
honestly I really don't. I don't. Like I mean,
Yeah, you know why? That's because you've written for everybody already.
I no. You know what? Honestly, don't know. I actually do probably have one, and I don't even want to say write for. But if I could like write with or just be in a writing session with,
Mhm.
it would be hands down Babyface, hands down,
Oh man. Okay.
Ha- without question, hands down Babyface,
Now why face? Why baby face?
because he has proven success and he's a legendary. Like he just has it, and he's been able
Mm,
to sustain it through decades. Like
hmm.
it's almost like he reinvents himself and it never gets old. Like it doesn't get old. And and here's the other thing too with him, which is kind of how I am. I'm not really big with being in front and being
Hmm.
the front guy, but I love being behind the scenes and creating what the front guy or front people do.
Hmm.
So Babyface is responsible for so many
Yes.
people's
Yeah.
careers.
Right. Right.
Bobby Brown, TLC,
Hmm.
Boys to Men, The Boys, Whitney Houston, like Tony Braxton. I mean, like Johnny Gill. Like I'm talking about hit stuff, and that's just their stuff. I
Right.
ain't talking about his own hits.
Hmm.
Babyface is the I've seen Babyface probably 5 times live in concert, and the greatest part of his concert is when he does the hey, I wrote these songs for these people years ago.
Right.
I'm gonna see
Right.
if y'all remember these. And he does that for like 35 minutes.
Hmm.
And he does snippets. He don't even do full songs. How do you do 30 minutes of
Of snippets.
snippets
Of
of
snippets.
hits? I ain't talking about, good songs of hits
Right.
for
Yeah.
other people.
Hmm.
You be in there like, I didn't know he did that. Oh, I didn't know he did that. Oh, I didn't know he did that. Brandy sitting in my room. The whole preacher's wife found like, I didn't know it's like, dude, him, Babyface, he is the man. Like, he is the man.
So I got a partner of mine, and we're both big into vinyl. Okay.
Yeah.
So he has
He got all
his
of
co- yeah, his collection is crazy, and
them.
so he's also a very big Babyface fan,
Uh-huh.
and so everything that he can find on vinyl by Babyface, even if it's not him as an artist, if he wrote it or whatever, I'm not going to say the amount of money he has spent on one record, but understand,
Oh
like
yeah. It's real.
it's yeah, it's something serious, man. So that piece I can understand. I can understand Face as, because of what he's done,
Yeah.
his accomplishments are crazy, and so that part I can understand. If you could say one thing to an aspiring writer, um, what would it be?
Hmm. Um, be true to yourself. And I know that sounds real easy. It sounds real cliche. Be true to yourself. Um, and do it the way that it was given to you. Do it, be true to yourself. Be true to how you hear it. Be true to how you feel it. And don't I'm not saying don't study and don't improve your craft, but don't try to be a copycat. Have influence, because we all have influence, but be true to yourself. Do what you do well. Learn what you do well and do it,
Mhm.
and embrace collaboration. Those two things. Those two things. Be true to yourself. Do what you do well. Well, those three things, and embrace collaboration.
Mhm.
That's a big part of songwriting too. Collaboration. And with songwriting, with creatives, period, we're very sensitive people. All the
Mhm.
things that we create, it's like this is our baby, and we
Right.
don't like to present it because we don't want anybody to tell us that it doesn't sound good or doesn't look good. So
Right.
we're hesitant
Yes.
about sharing what we have. But
Mhm.
that sharpens you as a creative because certain people look at when somebody from the outside looks at what you created, they have no bias, they have no attachment to it, so they're going to be true and honest with their
Right.
feelings about it, and oftentimes they are able to see things that you can't see,
Mhm.
and that helps, especially with songwriting. There are so many, a lot of the hit songs that everybody knows, most of them were written by probably three or four people. Now, of
Because
course,
of the
like one person probably gets the the headline for it, but
right.
like it's a collaboration. Like a lot of the Babyface stuff. That's
Mhm.
L.A. Reid and Babyface.
Right.
I mean, the Israel Houghton stuff,
Mhm.
Aaron Lindsay and Israel and other people. Like even the Mav City stuff. You look at Maverick City stuff. You look at them credits. It's like 3, 4 people that helped write them songs.
Mhm.
And
And
you
yeah,
know,
and your name is all over those credits too. You're all in there too, man.
just
You
just
you
just a few of the early records, just a few.
and look, man. So what I'm amazed at, and I've said this before about people in general. So I've had an opportunity to kind of meet and work and book or whatever different artists and people that have accomplished a lot. Um, I would say that out of everybody that I've worked with, probably the most down to earth, humble guy was PJ.
Hmm.
Like just you know, we booked him 1 year, and I'm probably gonna make some dudes mad. We booked him 1 year. After the show, they went to the gym to play basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was almost like, I don't know if you ever called the Chappelle joint where it was the shirts first versus the blouses.
Yeah, yeah.
So PJ and all of his dudes,
Oh,
when they were playing, they had the tight jeans on and all that.
oh yeah, they take it serious, yeah.
Oh, and so they played against, some, I'm not calling no names. Y'all know who you are.
Right.
They went over to that gym
Yep, cross the street. Uh-huh.
and yeah, and PJ and his squad whooped them boys in their
Right.
own gym.
Yep.
Now I'm not calling no name. Matter of fact, I had hit PJ a while back because we were trying to get him, and I said, "Look, man, these boys are ready to play ball again against you. They trying to get you back." But I will say that one, PJ is probably one of the most humble dudes that I've
Yeah,
met.
yeah.
Um, Number two behind PJ is a dude I know by the name of Chris House.
Man, get out of here, man.
Listen,
Get out of
and
here.
and look, man, I'm being honest with you, bro. Like you have some names behind your name.
Wow.
I mean, you've accomplished what most people are trying to do. You've accomplished a lot. You've done a lot.
Wow, man.
And to be able to do and have those things that you've accomplished and still be as humble as you are, as down to earth as you are, people can call you and you will respond. You're not sending them over to, hey, I need you to,
Right.
I need you to go talk to, and I get it. I understand, but I mean, that's who you are. And you've always been that way.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that about you. I commend you for that.
Oh, wow.
And know that your wife and your children will be much better because that's who you are. And then they'll understand and they'll learn. You know what I mean? But I just, I had to throw that out there, man. I'm learning now, man, to really give people their due while they're here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In light of everything that's been going on, I got a chance to catch the Paris Bowens
Yeah.
joint.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, man, to really while people are here, man,
Yeah,
tell them.
you got to.
Tell them while they're here, man.
Yep.
And I got you here, man. And like I said, you've done a lot. I appreciate all that you've done. Keep doing it, man. Keep taking the time to encourage and teach and just show, man, some of these other cats that want to do it, how to do it. One, how to do it the right way, and then not only how to do it the right way, but to stay humble and stay true, and because that's what you are, man. You know what I mean? You've been that way, and I'm throwing it at you now, man. If you're one of them dudes, man, and I said this about a couple cats, they was talking business, and I told them, I said, look, if you didn't have good business, I may send you a link to invite you to watch the show, not to be on it.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So with you, man, you've done a lot, you've accomplished a lot, and you're a humble guy, honest, transparent, upfront, and I appreciate you for that, man. And I appreciate you taking the time out, just hop on, just to kind of chop it, kind of talk about,
Dude,
talk.
I'm honored to do it, man. The Bible,
Brother.
being a PK, man, the Bible says a good name is worth more than riches. And we can have all the stuff in the world, but if your name is trash, it means nothing. It means nothing, man. I'd rather have nothing and have a good name. And that's what I aim to do and to be. In all that I do, I want my name to be clean. You ain't gonna catch House in no mess. You ain't gonna be able to put him with no foolishness that's going on, because you're not gonna embarrass my name. Like the name, my dad. My dad came from a big family, and his last name was House. And he said he used to tell me all the time, "Your name is House, and you're not gonna embarrass our name. I don't care what you do. You're not gonna embarrass how when people say the name House." They should be able to be like, oh, they should be able to trust it just because your name is attached to it. And that's how my dad was. That's how my mom is. Even now, if you say Gail House, you don't have to ask,
yes, sir.
You don't have to ask no more questions. You know it's legit.
Right.
You know it's straight. Same way with my dad. You say Arthur House in the city. Oh, it's straight. When you say Chris House, I want it to be the same way. I don't want you to be like, well, I got to check and see. A good name is worth more than riches, and your good name will help get you in some doors that your skill may not be as great to be in those doors, but because you got a good name, it'll take you places. Trust me,
bruh. Man, listen, and look, man, know that you got a good name in these streets, bruh. When they listen, when they look, I done talked to a lot of people. I had a conversation with a cat today. I ain't calling no name, but when I said Chris House, he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm tuning in, man. That's yeah, man. That's a good cat. That's a good cat right there to get on the show." I said, "Yeah, I got Chris. Oh yeah, man, I'm checking that out." Because, like you said, I could have threw some other names out there, and no, they be like, Brian, but Chris House, man. Like I said, bro, I appreciate you. I thank you for taking time out, coming on, hanging out with us, dropping some information for some cats that want to get into it, that want to do it. And I do, man. And look, I'll talk to you, man. We gotta get your wife on. We get a chance to talk to her. Cause like I seen some of the stuff she's doing, man. So we'll figure that piece out, man. But thanks again, brother. And I appreciate you, man. And we will talk again. All right.
Work too, man, for sure. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Once again, you guys, that's my man, Chris House. It's the Mind Your Business podcast. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. The whole point of Mind Your Business is, listen, I know people have dreams. They want to be entrepreneurs. It's things that they want to do. I want to be able to get you guys the information of people that are doing it to make sure that you understand what this is all about. You know what I mean? It just ain't no hopping in here. I don't want to see nobody lose their families, their houses, their friends, their resources, their marriages behind trying to get into this whole entrepreneur thing. I don't want to see that happen. So if I can provide you guys some information, I'll do it. I'll do whatever I can. So once again, thanks to Chris House. Make sure y'all tune in on Monday to the Mind Your Business podcast. We got my man Dominique Epps coming on Monday. He's over there in Suffolk, but he's flipping Portsmouth upside down with houses. He's doing the whole cryptocurrency thing. So we're going to talk to him about how he got in the game, what he's doing, how to make some money, all of that, because he's doing it. He's also part owner of the Wall Street Cafe. So make sure you guys tune in. Once again, I'm JB Harrison. It's the Mind Your Business podcast. I appreciate you guys, and we're powered by Hanging with the Harrisons and the Harrison brand. I think I got everything right. My wife and my director and producer, we should be good tonight. I hope I get a thumbs up from everybody, man. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk soon.